In the eastern lands, where Chinese culture has flourished for millennia, there lived a man whose name would become synonymous with healing and surgical brilliance. This was Hua Tuo, a renowned physician of the Eastern Han Dynasty, a man whose medical expertise was so comprehensive that history remembers him as the first surgeon in Chinese tradition to perform open operations on patients. His legacy is built upon a foundation of revolutionary ideas, chief among them being his invention of an anesthetic compound that predated similar Western achievements by more than 1,600 years. The tales of his prowess spread far and wide, with stories like his treatment of the warrior, Guan Yu's poisoned arm becoming legendary. He even created a series of therapeutic exercises known as the __0__, which gained popularity both in China and abroad. One day in the bustling city, a crowd gathered around Hua Tuo, desperate for his healing touch. Quote 1 cried one patient, while another pleaded, quote 2. The physician, calm and composed, reassured them, quote 3. Yet even as he faced the queue of suffering individuals, a persistent question gnawed at his mind. How could he alleviate the excruciating pain they endured during surgery? His wife, concerned by his constant immersion in medical texts, gently scolded him. Quote 4. Hua Tuo replied with a heavy heart. Quote 5. His thoughts were consumed by the pain of others. A soldier was brought in with a shattered leg bone, requiring immediate surgery. As Hua Tuo prepared his instruments, he noted the man's deep unconsciousness, a state induced by heavy drinking before the procedure. The surgery was performed, and upon waking, the soldier reported only a dull ache, remarkably little pain for such a serious operation. Intrigued, Hua Tuo inquired about the circumstances of the injury. The soldier admitted he had fallen down some stairs after drinking too much at a tavern. The alcohol must have numbed your senses, Hua Tuo mused, a spark of an idea igniting in his mind. This chance observation suggested that intoxication could dull the agony of surgical incisions. However, his wife pointed out the inconsistency. Alcohol's effects varied greatly from person to person. Some patients felt little relief, while others became too intoxicated. A reliable, uniform method was needed. Undeterred, Hua Tuo continued his quest. He experimented, giving his own supply of wine to patients to test its numbing properties, much to his wife's dismay. "All our wine is gone, given to your patients," she lamented. Hua Tuo explained his theory, but she reminded him of the fundamental flaw. The effect was unstable, dependent on individual tolerance. A universal solution remained elusive. Just as he was pondering this, a frantic mother, Wang Danyang, rushed in with her young son, Amao. The boy had been playing in the yard and ingested some white flowers, falling into a deep coma. He showed them the plant, a type of datura, known locally as stinky hemp flower, which was highly toxic. Hua Tuo examined the child and assured the mother that the effects would wear off within a few hours. The flowers can induce a deep, stable unconsciousness, he realized, a new path for his research opening before him. He hurriedly left his meal, driven by a newfound purpose. After extensive research and travel, collecting various narcotic plants, he confirmed that the datura flower, combined with fermented wine, produced a stable and effective anesthetic. He called his creation Mafeisan, or hemp boiling powder. This discovery marked a monumental leap in medical history, allowing Hua Tuo to perform painless abdominal surgeries and cementing his legacy as the father of surgery in China. Though the ancient formula is no longer used today, Mafeisan remains a landmark achievement, and Hua Tuo's name endures as a symbol of unparalleled medical skill, with the saying, quote, 12 still used to praise exceptional doctors. Hua Tuo's discovery of Mafeisan was only the beginning. His reputation as a surgeon who could operate without pain spread like wildfire, attracting patients from all corners of the land. Among them was none other than the legendary General Guan Yu, a figure whose name struck fear into the hearts of his enemies. During a fierce battle, Guan Yu was struck by a poisoned arrow that embedded itself deep in his arm. The wound festered and the poison began to spread, threatening not only his limb but his very life. When Hua Tuo examined the general, he knew immediate action was necessary. The poison had reached the bone, and the only way to save him was to scrape it away, a procedure so agonizing that even the bravest warriors would struggle to endure it. Guan Yu, however, was no ordinary man. When Hua Tuo explained the procedure and offered his anesthetic, the general waved it away. "I have faced thousands of enemies without flinching," he declared. "A little pain is nothing." True to his word, Guan Yu sat calmly during the operation, continuing to play a game of chess with his officers as if nothing were happening. Hua Tuo worked swiftly, his knives scraping against bone while the general showed no sign of distress. This remarkable display of fortitude became one of the most famous stories in Chinese history, cementing both Guan Yu's legendary status and Hua Tuo's reputation as a master surgeon. Yet even as he marveled at the general's endurance, Hua Tuo knew that not everyone could bear such torment. His Mafeisan remained essential for ordinary patients. The physician's fame grew, and with it, the demand for his services. He traveled extensively, treating everyone from peasants to nobles, never refusing a call for help. His surgical skills were unmatched, and he performed procedures that no one else dared attempt, removing diseased tissues, repairing damaged organs, and even attempting abdominal surgeries that were unthinkable before his time. Each operation was a testament to his meticulous preparation and deep understanding of human anatomy, knowledge he had gained through years of dedicated study and practice. One day, a man was brought to him with a massive tumor growing on his back. The growth had been there for years, slowly expanding and causing increasing pain. Other doctors had refused to touch it, fearing that any attempt to remove it would kill the patient. Hua Tuo examined the man carefully, palpating the tumor and assessing its connection to surrounding tissues. After much thought, he decided to operate. He administered his Mafeisan, and the man slipped into a peaceful sleep. Working with steady hands, Hua Tuo carefully dissected the tumor from the healthy tissue, sealing blood vessels as he went. Hours later, he closed the wound, having successfully removed the entire growth without causing excessive bleeding or damage. When the man awoke, he felt only mild discomfort, a fraction of what he had endured for years. He wept with gratitude, praising Hua Tuo as a true miracle worker. Despite his successes, Hua Tuo remained humble and dedicated to his craft. He continued to refine his techniques and explore new methods of treatment. His wife often worried about his relentless work ethic, urging him to rest and take care of his own health. But Hua Tuo would always respond the same way. "How can I rest when there are still people suffering?" His compassion was as legendary as his skill, and patients knew that when they came to him, they would be treated not just as cases, but as fellow human beings deserving of dignity and care. The physician's innovations extended beyond surgery. He understood that true healing required more than just treating symptoms. It required strengthening the entire body. Drawing upon his knowledge of exercise and physiology, he developed the __quote _16__, a series of movements inspired by the tiger, deer, bear, monkey, and crane. These exercises were designed to improve flexibility, circulation, and overall vitality, helping people prevent illness before it could take hold. The practice spread rapidly, and even today, variations of these exercises are still performed by those seeking to maintain their health. Hua Tuo's later years were marked by both triumph and tragedy. His fame eventually reached the ears of the powerful warlord Cao Cao, who suffered from debilitating headaches. Conventional treatments provided no relief, so Cao Cao summoned Hua Tuo to his court. The physician diagnosed the problem as a wind disorder requiring surgical intervention, a proposal that made the paranoid warlord deeply suspicious. He believed Hua Tuo might be plotting to assassinate him. When Hua Tuo requested leave to return home and care for his ailing wife, Cao Cao's suspicions deepened. He sent officials to investigate, and finding that the physician had indeed delayed his return, ordered his execution. Despite pleas from advisors who recognized Hua Tuo's value, the warlord remained unmoved, and so one of the greatest medical minds in Chinese history met an untimely end. Before his death, Hua Tuo had compiled his life's work into a comprehensive medical text, hoping to pass his knowledge to future generations. But in a final tragedy, this invaluable manuscript was lost to history. According to legend, he offered it to his jailer, who refused to accept it for fear of being implicated. In despair, Hua Tuo burned his writings, leaving only fragments that survived through the teachings of his students. Today, while no complete works of Hua Tuo remain, his legacy endures in the principles and techniques that have been passed down through generations of physicians. His innovations in anesthesia, surgery, and preventive medicine laid foundations that would influence Chinese medicine for nearly 2 millennia. The name Hua Tuo remains synonymous with medical excellence, a testament to a man who dedicated his life to easing suffering and whose contributions continue to inspire healers around the world.